Hi everyone, welcome. FPLMattDay here, and this is my Gameweek 22 captains and differentials picks video. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and be sure to get your comments or questions in ahead of what is a mid-week game week. We obviously had the FA Cup break over the weekend. We've now got some mid-week FPL, which I can't wait for, which will be followed by a busy set of FPL. We will also have Game Week 23 on the weekend, followed by Game Week 24 the week after. But let's get straight into it. I will share screen and start off with my first set of tips, which is going to be captain picks for Game Week 22. And on screen, you can see Liverpool are on there. No Salah this game week, so he is not a captain option for me. But my favourite captain option is this man here, Diogo Jota. If you have him in your team, home to Chelsea, 5.1 points per match this season at 7.9 million. But obviously he has returned from injury recently with 3 returns in a row, 19 points against Bournemouth when he started in Game Week 21. So really liking the prospect of Diogo Jota. As a captain, you'd probably look at Chelsea and think maybe it's a bit harder on paper, but they'll play a very open game under Pochettino at Anfield. I can see there being a few goals in this game. So Diogo Jota, big potential. He will start this game as well, in my opinion, at home at Anfield. So I think he is a great pick. And he's my number 1 captain pick, in fact, this week. Let's go to my second captain pick for Game Week 22. I've gone to Tottenham here. And it's going to be Richarlison at home to Brentford. Brentford obviously returned to winning ways with Tony coming back into the team, but their form wasn't great before. You've got Richarlison here, 7 million, 4.5 points per game. Currently 12% selected. He's got 5 returns in his last 6 games. And as you can see, 3 of them there are at home. 4-1 back in Game Week 16 against Newcastle with 15 points. So he is capable of double-digit hauls. And then there's a 9 and 8, another 8 and another 8 in there. So he hasn't had a huge amount of double-digit scores, but he's consistent. And this is a game week where we've got no Salah, no Son, and we're still unsure on which Man City players will start. So that leads into my third favourite captain option. And we'll go to Man City, and I will go down to Kevin De Bruyne. A lot of us are very unsure if he will start this game at home to Burnley. Not many people like taking that risk of Pep and Pep Roulette. Did come off the bench against Tottenham in the recent FA Cup game. Looked really sharp. He did miss an absolute sitter in that one. But there in Game Week 21, he come off the bench and got 12 points. Do City really need to start him in this game? Probably not. But at the same time, it's a comfortable fixture on paper to get De Bruyne back up and running. We might only see sort of the 60 to 70 minutes out of him as well, or maybe even only half a game, especially if City are cruising to victory at halftime in this one. So for me, he's definitely a captain consideration, but only in 3rd place for me. So that's the captains and my top 3 captain picks. Let's move on to some differentials now. And we'll go in to one of my first differential picks for this game week. And we'll go to Arsenal, who have the Forest away game this week. And you've got Gabriel Martinelli here on screen, 5.9% selected. Obviously, he was unbelievable in FPL last season. His ownership's a lot lower this year. Minutes have been a bit patchy. Didn't start against Palace in Game Week 21, but did come off the bench and get 14 points. 5 points in the game before against Fulham. I think he has worked his way back into the Arsenal lineup, in my opinion. And this is a great fixture if you're looking for sort of a one-off midfielder differential for this game week at 5.9% owned. And then my next differential is from Brighton. So if you can't get to Estupiñán, who I think is a really strong pick for this game week, he's someone I would absolutely love in my team as well if I could work him in. But Van Heck, Jean-Paul Van Heck, Game Week 22, Luton away, 2.3% owned, 4 million. And have a look at this. All of these starts he has had for Brighton has started every game all the way there since Game Week 11. A couple of clean sheets in a row as well for Brighton. He did also get an assist in the FA Cup for Brighton. So at 4 million, Likely starting player. He's a very, very handy player to get. And getting him in now gives you this Luton away game, Palace home, followed by some pretty good fixtures as well from game week 25 onwards. So really strong pick, in my opinion, for this coming game week. And then my last differential is going to be Wolves. I think a lot of you know who this is going to be when I go to Wolves. 1.8% owned. A favourite towards the start of the season. Was getting a lot of points, as you can see early on. 7 points, 10 points, 5 points, 9, 4, 5, 4, and 5, all the way there from game week 3 up to game week 10. This game week, he has got Manchester United at home, but you probably wouldn't view that as a tough home fixture these days. It's an open fixture, an opportunity for someone like Neto to grab some points. 1.8% owned, did get some returns in the FA Cup for Wolves as well. Lovely goal in fixture away at West Brom. I think he's a great differential. And even with these sort of tougher fixtures on paper that come up, he's one of Wolves' main players, key players. I think he's fixture proof. And there's a lot of opportunities for some points from Pedro Neto. And I'll quickly click back onto him as well. The best thing about Neto is that 5.6 million price point. So let's go into a quick tip as well. We'll go to Man City here. You've still got the yellow flag on Haaland. We're not sure if he's even going to play. And then I mentioned before De Bruyne as well. So we'll scroll down onto De Bruyne, who is now back fully fit for Man City. So let's find him. We'll have to probably do it by round points, I think. There we go, De Bruyne. For me, I wouldn't bring both in. I wouldn't be looking to bring both De Bruyne and Haaland in this week. I'd make a decision on only bringing one of them in. Preference would be towards De Bruyne, as I think he's got an opportunity for more minutes and there's a higher chance that he starts. If you're looking to get Haaland in, probably that sort of game week early, bring him in. You can start him. We all know he can bag goals off the bench as well. But for me, only pick one of the two for this game week. And then last of all, we'll quickly go here into the fantasy page. We'll log into to my team. We won't do my team selection. That will be a separate video on YouTube. So be sure to check out the channel prior to the deadline for that. But just remember, game week 22, it's a midweek deadline. So Wednesday night here in Australia, or morning in Australia, Tuesday night in the UK. So do not forget that it is a midweek FPL deadline. So there you have it. That is my FPL Game Week 22 captains and differentials video. If you enjoyed what you've seen, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to give the video a like and get your comments in ahead of this week's game week. Good luck for Game Week 22. I'll see you all in the next video. I'm FPLMattDay. Bye for now.